Hey guys, it's Bro You Wack, and today the mid-season patch came out for Overwatch 2 that not only brought us the Cowboy Bebop collaboration, but also a new mode, Hero Gauntlet. And what you're here to watch is, of course, all of the hero changes, which includes over 17 individual hero changes, and all the DPS heroes are getting changed as well. For a mid-season update, these are some meaty patch notes. A lot of changes are coming, so let's just finally get started. But before I do, I'm actually going to be live on Twitch right now, where you can watch my stream to get a free Reaper skin. So after you watch this video, go to my Twitch and watch my stream. I'm gonna be live all day, so you will not miss me. So let's finally get started with these patch notes. Before we look at the individual hero changes, let's look at the general changes. First and foremost, the projectile size updates. These are gonna be the hitboxes people complain about, even though hitboxes didn't change, but the global size modifier for travel time projectiles that have a speed greater than 50 meters per second are now going to be reduced from 0.1 meters in size to 0.075 meters. And the heroes with the projectile speed greater than 50 meters per second are Pharah's Concussion Blast, Lifeweaver's Healing Blossom, Genji's Shurikens, Baptiste's Biotic Launchers, Ana's Sleep Dart, Torbjorn's Rivet Gun, Orissa's Energy Javelin, Lifeweaver's Thorn Volley, Echo's Tri-Shot, Roadhog's Scrap Gun, Doomfist's Hand Cannon, Zenyatta's Orbs of Destruction, Orissa's Augmented Fusion Driver, Kuriko's Kunai, Hanzo's Storm Arrows, Mei's Endic Blaster, Torbjorn's Rivet Gun, the alternate version, Ana's Biotic Rifle, and Sojourn's Railgun. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, oh, the roll passive, the damage roll passive. Alright, so if you forgot that damage heroes, now whenever they shoot an enemy, that enemy receives 20% less healing for 2 seconds. Well, now in the mid-season update, they're reducing it from 20% to now 15%. And we kind of already knew this from the blog post, but now it's actually going into the live service game. But now we can look at the individual hero changes. First, let's look at the tank heroes, starting with Doomfist, where we already saw this change coming. His meter strike is getting a buff where the minimum damage increased from 15 damage to now 50 damage. Basically the outer ring of Doomfist's ultimate. Will this make Doomfist a good tank? Absolutely not. No. Mauga is actually getting some meaningful changes as the next tank up. His Overrun Stomp is getting a buff where they're increasing the damage from 45 damage to 60 damage, and his Cardiac Overdrive is getting 3 total changes. The duration at which the Cardiac Overdrive happens is getting reduced from 5 seconds to 4 seconds, but the cooldown is getting decreased by 2 seconds. Previously it was 12, now it's going to be 10, and now his passive overhealth is going to be filled by 100. Again, another tank that we kind of already knew from the previous blog post, but the next tank up that we don't know about is Orisa, where her Terra Surge, her ultimate charge rate for the first 2.5 seconds is now going to be increased by 25%, which is actually going to be big. Way bigger of a buff in my opinion than Doomfist, if you ask me. Ramatra's the next tank. There's actually a lot of tanks that are getting changed in this mid-season update, but Ramatra's Ravenous Vortex, the damage is getting increased from 45 to 70, which I think is actually pretty big because that thing did little damage before, and the cooldown is getting decreased by 1 whole second. Previously it was 12, now it's going to be 11 seconds. Reinhardt is also getting a buff. Finally, one of the lesser good tanks, and his armor is getting increased by 275 to 300. Okay, that's pretty good. It gives him some survivability, and his fire strike damage is getting increased from 100 damage to 120. Yeah, these are some pretty good changes. It'll definitely give him some tankiness whenever he's on the field because, well, he needs it. He's a tank after all. Roadhog is the final tank getting changed, and his chain hook is getting a buff. It's worded kind of weirdly. The enemy's final position distance from Roadhog after being pulled decreased from 4 meters to 3 meters. What this basically means is that you're now closer to Roadhog whenever he hooks and pulls you. Along with that, his Pigpen ability, you know, his new ability that he got, the vertical knockback on activation decreased by 43%, which is a huge nerf. On to damage heroes. Now, like I said before, all damage heroes got a nerf where the passive now decreased from 20% healing reduction to now 15% healing reduction, but these are going to be individual hero changes. So Hanzo's base projectile size for his arrows is going to increase from 0.75 meters to 0.1 meter. This is to try to compensate with the projectile size nerf that all the 50 meters per second heroes got with the general changes. But my girl Mei, for the first time in what seems like years, got a meaningful buff where her blaster ammo increased from 120 to 140. I love you, Aaron Keller. And her cryo, wait, that's not all. Her cryo freeze healing per second increased from 50 heal per second to now 62.5 heals per second. We are so back, Maymains. Reaper mains, you are also back because his Death Blossom ultimate is getting a buff where the damage per second increased from 170 damage per second to now 185, which is really big for him, and the ultimate cost decreased by 12%. That's actually a really good ultimate buff compared to something like Doomfist's ultimate buff. Sembra's not only getting the new Ed skin with the Cowboy Bebop collab, but also 3 changes to 3 different abilities. First and foremost, her EMP ultimate ability cost got reduced by 8%, meaning that you can get EMP a lot more frequently. Her virus impact damage increased from 10 to 25, which is going to be huge for squishier heroes like Tracer and Baby Diva. And the final changes to her translocator ability, where it can now destroy breakables while in a fight. Symmetra got a whole laundry list of changes. So let's start off first with her primary form of fire, where the damage got increased from 60 to now 65, and now will scale with each different stage. She has 3 different stages of her beam, but the new maximum damage, you know, the 3-stage beam, is at 195 damage per second. That's crazy to read on paper. But her teleporter, in my opinion, I think got the biggest buff out of all these hero changes, because the health got increased from 50 to 100, and the shield health increased from 150 to 200, meaning that she has a 300 HP teleporter. But it don't end there, because her sentry turret's health also got increased from 30 health to 50 health, and the damage per second increased from 25 to 30. I'm just gonna say it, Symmetra is gonna be a much better hero, possibly A tier hero. But the final damage here that's getting buff is Torbjorn's turret, not Torbjorn himself, where the damage increased from 11 damage to now 13, and that's really gonna affect console players, because I know Torbjorn's turret is powerful on console. All right, we finally reached support heroes, so there's gonna be 1, 2, 5 support heroes getting changed. First of all, let's start with Ana, where we already kind of knew her change. The Biotic Grenade, the explosion damage and healing is getting increased from 60 to 90. This is gonna be big against squishy heroes, and also healing yourself. Batista's Immortality Field is finally getting nerfed, where the minimum health threshold decreased from 25 to now 20%. Why can't you just make it like 5%? Brigitte's getting 2 changes. Her repair pack's cooldown is getting decreased from 6 seconds to now 5 seconds, and her rally ultimate ability, it now costs 8% less, meaning that you can get it a little bit more frequently in games. Illyari is getting 2 changes. Her primary fire recovery time to her main weapon is getting reduced from 0.3 seconds to 0.2 seconds, but that's if you're spam shooting, which you typically never want to do with Illyari, is spam shoot. But the maximum charge rate got reduced from 0.7 seconds to now 0.65 seconds. And the final hero that's getting changed is Life Weaver, where his Healing Blossom maximum healing got increased from 70 heal per flower to now 80 heal per flower, and the maximum charge rate increased from 1 second to 1.15 seconds. And those are all the hero changes in the mid-season patch, but be sure to go check out my Twitch right now. Like, you watch the video, go check out my Twitch right now, get a free Reaper skin, check out the Cowboy Bebop collaboration, and also drop a follow and maybe your prime sub. But until then, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.